The only cars I've owned over the last 20 years have been the Volvo 240s. I've owned a handful of them, and I've run them all into the ground. My current ride has over 354K, a couple of dents, and a weather paint job. These cars are workhorses, and they're perfect for what I do. They're simple, roomy, robust, and the trunk is huge, enabling me to pile in my camera gear and a couple of bikes to hit the road with the homies. I'm Jeff Zielinski, and this is In The Volvo. We're going to have Ryan Biz Jordan in the Volvo today. Our plan is to go ride a couple spots and then meet up with Mike Mastroni and try to get some clips for the new ride video, Headlights. Have you guys been filming much else since last time I saw you?
Yeah, well, I went to this one thing twice. It's like, do you know the Mike Mastroni wanted to crank on that rail, the kinked one?
Oh yeah, he got that, right?
Yeah, but I was like going down, and then like at the end there's a tree. It's trying to go into the tree, but it's the rail went out like this, like angled this way, and the tree is this way, and like where I'd have to pull up, I'd almost clip my shoulder on the tree. So I was like, I got into the tree, but not like how I wouldn't use it, you know? Like you can see it doesn't like, it angles out weird, so it's just like, but I wanted to get it where I could actually ride in, but I was like, I couldn't. Grind the rail 30 times and then you get down once, maybe, because the rail is so goddamn long.
It's a long ride.
And if you're not perfectly centered at the bottom, like I must have grinded the rail probably a good like 40 times, like just like perfect double pegs, you know. I needed to go kind of slow towards the end, so on the first part I just grind it, and then the next part I turn my wheel on the middle part and I'd be scrubbing like the tire, and then I'd straighten back out and then go down.
Were you there the day that Mike did the crank arm?
Yeah. He got it within like 5, but he said it was like his 4th time back.
Yeah, I went there twice with him, 2 or 3 times. So.
He got it really quick, like, because I went with him once and we were both trying it together for like 4 hours. We just take turns, like go back, and it was pretty awesome having someone to do it with. And then the next time he got it so quick, and I was just like, fuck.
And now it's all on you.
I was so pissed he got it quick. I had to go to Easter at my chick's relative that lives out there, and I like took an accidental wrong turn, and I found this like school I've never seen before out there, and I was like, so I made my chick wait in the car on Easter, and I hopped over the fence, and I was roaming around in the school and stuff, and I was like, whoa, there's like a lot of stuff there, and it looks, like from what I recall, I don't remember seeing anything from it, so, but we'll see. There's so many videos these days, so it's hard to keep track, but
no normal person on Easter will be climbing a schoolyard fence on any weekend, let alone Easter.
Yeah, there's like people, and it's especially shady when you don't have your bike. It's just like on Easter and some grown man hopping a fence into a schoolyard.
And then you start doing like the motions, like you're on your bike, and
yeah,
people probably like, these people are insane.
Four grown men standing around looking at a rail.
Yeah, that one's the best.
Yeah, we just went up to Raban's area actually to film for this video. We went to a playground, and there was just kids everywhere, and we just came walking in, and we're like, with our hands crossed, looking at everything, pointing out. So
that one's always so hard.
Yeah, the playground's a hard one. Well, luckily, me and Mike, when we filmed the other day at the playground, the parents are actually psyched. So they were like getting their kids away from the obstacle, and I'm like, hey, this is their area, and I'm in it. So if you want me to leave, I'll leave. And they're like, no, totally cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, getting kicked out by the cops, and when you're older than the cops, when you got to the point, yeah. So it's definitely funny, but at least it's getting more popular, so they know what we're doing.
Just all the bike riding on YouTube now, because like back in the day when you film for a video, you're filming for a DVD.
Yeah. And
the only people watching DVD are the kids who buy the DVDs, and maybe their parents who bought it for them might like walk in and be like, oh, this is what I paid $20 for? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody, business owners, whoever else can see exactly what we're doing. Like,
yeah, it's either good or bad. So,
yeah.
You know.
Well, like in the new 90s video, in the beginning, there's a guy.
Oh, that was amazing.
Recording, like that guy just figured it out. He probably saw a sticker. I don't know how he figured it out, but he fully like called or called the business and
left
was like
a message. Yeah, that message was funny, and that video is amazing. I had fun watching that, all the back east stuff.
That video was awesome. That video got me so hyped to wanted to ride. I think I might have just cut these people off. Sorry. I'm not really sure.
That sign grind Lino did on the taxi cab was amazing.
Taxi cab, sign grind. Anyone who hasn't seen the 90s video, the new one, you know what, the name's actually escaping me right now. What the hell is it called? Like, well, it just came out, so it's pretty easy to find it, but I definitely suggest that you track it down and watch it.
Yeah,
because that video is awesome. Shout out to Jake Frost too. His part is sick. How was that trip? The rest of the Headlights trip up there with Mike and Urban, and who else did Calvin go to?
Yeah, me, Calvin, and Mastroni, and we just stayed at Urban's for like 4 days. It was amazing because I feel like that area is like just far enough out of SoCal where it's like people don't want to drive because you have to stay there, you know. So it's like still really untapped, I feel like. So we did a bunch of awesome stuff. So it was like Calvin did some savage stuff. I was filming something for a while, and then he got like a 6-pack of beer or something, and then he got super hyped after I pulled mine, and then by then he was kind of buzzed, and he like fucking crooked grinded like a 21 stair.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. Typical Australian fashion after having like 6 beers, you know, like, and then go riding.
He actually told me a story. You guys went to university, and he was just gonna double peg it for like Super 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. He shot it. He did it on the film camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it on a Super 8 camera. The security guard was coming.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna crook it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's a pretty awesome story.
Yeah. I feel like that trip was like the turning point in the video for me. You know, when like you're kind of getting going, but then I was like, I got like stuff I was really psyched on. So now it's like I kind of see it coming together.
Okay.
And then I'm like, now I just want to keep it going.
How many video parts do you think you've filmed over the years?
I don't know, but it took me later in my career to really figure out how to do it. Like because I was always trails growing up, you know. So like I was sucked into that world for a long time. But then after like I don't know, you're doing it for 15 years, and then you want to like focus on something different. But I was just in Austin. I was talking about Bob with this, and he's like, it took you so long to get it to like catch on, you know, and it did. And that was like 2005. Like I kind of like figured out like what I could do. Like it took me a while to figure out how like the stuff I could do on street, you know what I mean? Like, cause I was always like, I want to do like a hard trick. I like wanted to do trucks and that stuff, and then like focused on that, but I never like.
You were the first person to do a hop truck off of like a picking table. Yeah. And it was a sequence in the magazine.
But that's like where my riding was. Like I wanted to do like a new trick as opposed to like using my skills to find a cool spot, you know. So that like took me a while to figure out. So.
I think BMX as a whole, the whole idea of like applying a trick to a spot took a while to catch on.
Yeah, definitely like Bob and Wiz and all those guys were ahead of their time.
They were really good with that. Like when I was growing up, because skateboarding, I don't want to like compare ourselves to them that much, but obviously it's been around longer.
Yeah.
You know, so they have more time to like progress, but they start applying tricks to spots more.
They figured that out early.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember growing up, like I used to watch a lot of skate videos for that one reason, because bike videos, people rode street, they just did a rail or did a big gap or just did a wall ride, but they weren't really riding like setups, you know. Like I think it's sick though, seeing the progression, you know, like from your background.
Yeah, because I was me and Jerry Bagley, we were just like little trails all week, and then ride around Boston on the weekend, you know. Like I always rode street, but I never really figured out how to really, you know. It took a while, you know, to like put a part together, you know. Like I was talking about that with Bob. I was like, Bennett's like, oh, we're gonna like film this video or something, like and that ended up being Wide Awake Nightmare, one of the best videos ever. But I broke my wrist. I only got to film for a couple months, but I was like in California riding with all dirt jumpers, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll go try and film a few things. I never realized the impact it would have had, like it had, you know. And I wish like I could go back and like really like do stuff, but it was more like, all right, I was jumping and doing this and doing dirt contests, and I guess I'll get some stuff for the video, you know. But I never like,
But that was an interesting time for you too, because you did ride along contests and you were doing really well, and I feel like it's a whole different.
Yeah.
It's like obviously at that point in time, I feel like it's when the contest rider or video part rider, that was becoming a separate.
Dude, there was you were barely even a video part, right? Like those dudes, no one was getting money if you didn't do contests, you know. Like,
I feel like Ends is a one of the earlier guys who I feel really became a video part rider.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I'm sure he rode contests, but I feel like he was early on.
Yeah,
really,
he made the transition good too, because he was full freestyler. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. So he really started like getting Cuddy up in Vancouver and just filming like heavy video parts, you know.
Definitely when he moved out to California, is it like helped me like mold my like finding spots and stuff a whole lot more, you know, like having him around. So that like changed everything for me. Never been here. It looks cool though.
It's pretty fun.
For Rob, it doesn't surprise me the over ices he can do. It's insane. Yeah. Oh, you got two.
That was a fun little pit stop.
Yeah, I'm sweating. That sounds good. Oh, we're right here? I never knew that Parker's right here, because I've ridden this a bunch of times. Well, not a bunch, like a handful of times. I never knew the park was right there. Is this where Brock did that? Oh, right around here? Did he do that crazy Smith to wall ride?
Mm-hmm. Right back there, yeah. That was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you filmed your first ride video part in 2001?
Yeah, Glenn made that one. So I filmed most of that. I was staying at Bennett's house.
Okay.
In Gary, Pennsylvania. So a lot there, and then Joe Cedarquist in Boston. He filmed a lot of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So he filmed some.
It's crazy. 17 years later, you're filming another one.
But no, what's crazy is when this is me and Mastroni were talking about this, but when's it supposed to come out? Christmas around?
I should know, but the information is probably up here somewhere, but it's just not.
So I think Mike said it's supposed to come out around that time, and that will be 20 years pro. I turned December 28th.
Okay.
But back then it was different. When you made pro finals, like there was so many contests, but once you made it into the finals, you know what I mean? That's like turned you pro.
Right.
You know, so, that was actually December 98. End of December 98. And what's funny is Doyle turned pro the exact same time, but a year earlier. Yeah, so he's at 20 already. And next year will be 21 for him. You know what's crazy is we turned pro at the exact same contest. It's called the Christmas Classic in Ohio, but it was probably the biggest dirt jump comp of the year, and it was the end of December. But yeah, I got 7th, and then the year before he got 7th too. So it was pretty funny. And then he turned pro. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So you've been friends with Chris forever.
Yeah. I mean, well, I even met him before that. I tried some of the. I did a couple of the contests, but I actually did a few. It was $100 to enter.
Okay.
And at being 15 or 16, that's a fuckload of money.
Especially
at the time.
back then.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And Doyle, he was on DK, so he had DK would pay for him. But I remember I just entered amateur, and one of the first times I met Doyle, it was I didn't even know Mikey, but Mikey Fuzzy flew Mikey out. Mikey was I was 16, so Mikey was 14. And me and Mikey were an amateur, and Mikey got first, and I got second. And this is in Pennsylvania, yeah. This is 97 or something. Okay. Yeah, and then I met Doyle there, I remember. And then the next year, at the Christmas Classic, I met him there again. So, yeah, it's been over 20 years.
Do you want to talk a little bit about Chris and his heart condition and everything? That's wild.
Yeah, it definitely hit home, you know? It was... You never think that to happen to one of your friends, especially Chris, because he's the most healthiest out of all of us, you know. But it was definitely a scary time, because I kind of heard something, but that Chris got hurt or something, but I didn't really know. And then I found out, and I was just wow, it was just it was heartbreaking, you know, the nicest, the most genuine dude ever, see that happen to him, just, you know. But I'm beyond stoked that he came out the way he did, you know. Like, it's a miracle, you know.
Yeah, it really puts it in perspective too, because like him and his wife, they just had a baby not that long ago, and like.
So thank God, Calvin's such a dialed dude too, and took control.
The CPR, that's amazing. Yeah, I asked him about that, and he said, like when he was like back home for his job, like the pipe fitting or whatever he does, it was like a course he had to take.
Yeah, so
like a 1-day course, and he had it up there, like what to do.
If there's definitely anyone that's good under pressure, it's him. Like, he's like cool, calm, and collective, you know.
Always.
So, yeah. So
always.
Like even like a big rail or something, you know. So he did. Yeah, blessing that he came through. He did, you know. Did you have the heat on?
So my thermostat is broken.
Yeah.
So I actually have to turn the heat on sometimes to lower the thermostat.
Really?
Old car problems.
Yeah, I just started sweating. I was like, Jesus, what's wrong with me?
It's nice. There's no cars in the driveway.
House people that going into their house. Oh man, you're jumping right into their front thing.
Literally, right into the front thing.
I know what you mean though. I feel sketchy about it too.
Yeah.
Oh, doggy. Hey, bud. Big old balls.
Ultimate fear is the door opening up. I just picture going like, boom, you know? That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not even trying to hop from here, just from here, you know?
Oh,
like,
okay.
just to see, you
Yeah.
So, is there anything else around here?
This is a pre-bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if the girls come now, don't call me now.
That was like the weirdest kick out.
Yeah, I don't know what he said or something. I said something.
How long did you live out? Because you lived in Bowen's place, right?
Well, I first moved to Corona in 2001.
Okay.
And me and Bagley and Heath Pinter lived together, and then Jerry moved, and me and Heath lived together from 2001 to 2008.
Okay.
And then I went from there to Bowen's house for a couple of years, and then to the beach area in 2012. So definitely a different life in Corona.
I feel like you lived pretty much most of the era when the whole Riverside, you know, like Lonnie's and everything.
Yeah,
like that was
just
peak of it.
For like general living, it wasn't as good. Like, it's more spread out and stuff. But riding wise, like, it's like every school is so good, and there's like 7 skate parks, and there was like so many trails, and like it was just the hot spot for a long time. And it got really hot too during the summer. But yeah, it was definitely riding wise, it was amazing, you know. And then Ends lived there, and Bowen and Heath and Bagley and Nasty and Steven, and like, so I had like a good mix of all like whatever I wanted to ride, you know.
Right.
So it was awesome. But the beach, now where I live now, like, just everyday life is amazing, but not as much to ride.
Right.
So it's like
trade-off for sure.
But living in California, I have to live near the beach, like, one time while I'm here, you know. So I forget, I was somewhere like getting a drink, and I seen Rodman there, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I know he has a place.
He
heard
lives in
stories
Newport.
about that.
So I seen him, and he was just like sitting at a table, like with one other dude, just pounding beers. And then the next morning, I woke up and look at TV, and I see, Dennis Rodman busted for DUI. So you're that rich, you can't get an Uber.
Yeah, right. He's probably too stubborn.
Or pay one of your buddies to drive you.
Yeah, right. You're coming up on 20 years as a pro. Like, that's a huge achievement in BMX. Not many people, you know, for lack of better words, can like hold on to it for that long. For whatever different reasons, they just don't. You know, they burn out or they get hurt or something. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because it's crazy. When I hit, like, I'm 37 now, but when I hit 30, that's, and like 31, and that, I felt like better than ever on my bike.
Okay.
And then, but I thought I was done at 26. Like, then I get in the flow of filming for something or doing a project, and I'm like I still feel fucking good, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I think at the point when you get older, I think a lot of it's more mental.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
if
for sure.
If you can get yourself to do something, but then I'm like, once I get into the flow of it, I'm like, as soon as my hops get shit and I can't bunny hop it anymore, then I'll hang it up, you know. But you know,
You're good for a while in that department.
but if I still feel poppy and stuff, then that kind of like ties in with my kind of riding, you know. So
For sure.
I never got frequent flyer miles, like I never did. And then I was like, 26 came around, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not even gonna start now because I don't want to see what I missed out on.
Okay.
Which is probably dumb thinking, you know. and then I'm like, I'm not gonna be flying anymore anyway, so I'm not gonna be doing shit. And then another 10 years went by, and I'm like, fuck.
Are you still?
Yeah, I still don't have it. Because now I'm like, fuck it, I've gone this long, I don't even want to see what I was missing out on. So I'm like, whatever. And then every year I'll be like, I'm not gonna be riding anymore. Well, I'll still be always riding, but
Right.
like, as a place to go in places, and it's still going. So yeah, just a dumb part on my behalf. I'd rather be riding in rain than wind.
The wind is the worst.
Dude, it is
Yeah.
the worst.
Oh,
like
man.
you can't do anything.
It's so annoying.
Dude, some of the first years I was in X Games, they put the jumps on the pier in San Francisco. It doesn't get any more windy than that. Like, come on, like, headwind, like, oh my god. It's like, no, you gotta go. This is live TV. Drop in and you're not getting paid. At one point, I remember, like, early 2000, late 90s, if you'd probably be like 70 dudes at each contest, and it was take 12 to the finals. But if you made a final, there's a good chance you were walking home with like a $2,000 a month Gary Fisher contract or something like that.
So
like,
crazy.
dude, it was crazy. Like you made a final and you were getting a deal. I got on volume in 2000, and a week after I got on volume, I got a call from like 6 different companies. K2, GT. Oh, Diamondback. I would have rode the Diamondback Mr. Lucky frame with a square back end.
Oh, a lot of kids probably don't even know. Was K2 like a
K2 was a ski
company?
ski company.
A ski company.
And they made
bikes.
rollerblade. They made rollerblades too, and DMC rode for them for a long time. And then a lot of the guys, they were from the Northwest, so a lot of the Northwest guys would ride from like Darren. Wait, no,
Chris Emery.
no, not Chris Emery. Chris Iman.
Chris Iman.
Yeah,
Chris Iman.
so they'd hook up like the local dudes and stuff. But I remember getting the call, and I didn't even, because I just got on volume. I didn't even like check what the money was because I just felt so bad just getting on volume, and I was like, fuck, it probably would have been like 50 grand a year or something, you know,
crazy.
like.
You could have been teammates with DMC.
Yep.
You'd be really good at your taxes by now.
Oh man, yeah.
When I first met DMC, he gave me tax advice.
Instead, I became teammates with Nasty on Huffy and got no tax advice. Probably.
Did you get a Huffy sticker? I can't remember.
No, I was supposed to. But Ruben's had a tail. I mean, he wanted a tail, but he has a tail on his. I was on Huffy for a year, then they went bankrupt. And then it's funny. Then I was on Schwinn for a year, and they went bankrupt. So I'd like get on and got good money, and then the next year was supposed to be like really good money, you know, because you have that good year, and then you're supposed to like prove yourself or something, you know, and then.
Dude, it's the longest fucking traffic light, by the way. We're just sitting here in this awkward position.
I always feel like these are ones that the people around here rig so they can come out and rob you. You're sitting in the light for so long.
At this point, we're gonna have no wheels. We're gonna
Yeah.
be on fucking blocks. Did you see that Shad is making Blueprint 2.0?
No.
Yeah. Ian Monroe went up there, and him and Bristol and Hobie and Shad had like a weekend filming.
Really?
Yeah, they legitimately like did a post on Instagram.
Can't wait for Lou Radge's part.
Oh, yeah. Imagine. Yeah, he broke both the wrists at the same time.
Who ended up jumping that?
Oh, later
Little
on?
Jeff?
It might have been little Jeff.
I'm probably mixing it up, but yeah, I know someone did.
Or it might have been him. Yeah, last thing Shad told me, I think Lou became like a piano player or something. After his wrist healed, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did it backward crooks down rails wearing a trench coat. I mean,
Switch backwards rails too.
Yeah.
I think. Wearing a trench coat.
yeah, if anyone wants to see some early handrail progression, Blueprint
Yeah.
came out of the Northwest Portland area. And what year was that? Like 98?
Yeah.
Something?
I think
Like
so.
99? Actually, there's a pretty interesting little spot fishing rod in the street or near it. It's like this little bank hip thing.
Yeah.
It's like real mellow, but it's like a little tiny park. It's really odd. There used to be like a statue there, I think, but the statue's gone.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun. Yeah. We'll make it over there today.
Hey brother, I have a woman here, Shane,
I was wondering what's going on.
where are you at?
It's probably gonna get me in trouble.
It'd be a pretty good day though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Didn't get what we drove out for, but I got super pissed off and then went out and found something different that I'm actually more psyched on. So
hell yeah, that's a solid clip in the bag for sure. That was worth driving out there.
yeah. Well, fun day. Thanks for letting me be the first Volvo recorded good person.
All right, Biz.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks
fun day.
Thanks for riding the Volvo today.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it.
See ya.